Anuj Gupta. Intel sources are revealing to CNN News 18 that India is watching the Nepal situation carefully and very closely. Priority is to control the law and order spillover. Intel sources have also revealed that the main objective is to ensure unrest should not spread across the open border. That is the prime concern for New Delhi at the moment. The risk of unrest moving towards Indian border states is extremely high. Intel has also cited that several Nepali Gorkhas are serving in the Indian army. That is the kind of strategic support that India has been receiving from Nepal. That is, in fact, almost historic. Let me quickly take that forward with Anand Narasimhan, who joins me live from the newsroom. Anand, if you could shed more light on how the border area particularly remain a crucial point of concern for India.
Well, good evening, Akanksha, and to our viewers. There are nearly 2 crore Bharatiya whose lives could be affected because Nepal shares its borders with states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Uttarakhand and also Sikkim. And then there are those important border crossings like Birganj, Raxaul. There is also the Bahrej, Nepalganj. The Nepalganj area saw a lot of unrest and we've been reporting that on ground. These are areas which, and of course the Kakarbhitta to Siliguri. So that's the Sikkim part. Now, these are areas which will see a huge amount of traffic, and the last time around in 2015, one witnessed that there was a lot of pushing of contraband, counterfeit currency, and also there was profiteering or black marketing of petrol or oil. So these are things which the authorities and the agencies are going to be very, very careful of. The other part is that the safety of Bharatiya is paramount. Bharat is not involved and is not going to get interfere in whatever is happening in Nepal, especially when there is youth and there is a spectrum of people who are actually backing this entire regime change call within Nepal. But what Bharat would like is stability and a consensus in terms of the future leadership of Nepal. And of course, if they are going to be equanimous and not leaning overtly towards China, then that would only benefit the roti beti ka rishta that Nepal and Bharat have always had. So this roti beti ka rishta is something which Bharat understands, respects, and also would like it to continue. The contribution of Gorkhas, contribution of Nepali to Bharatiya armed forces and also the entire Bharatiya economic system and social system is something which we don't need to speak about. Nepal has always been as good as just a little bit of an extension of Bharat, an independent, autonomous extension, but a very proud one where there is a shared history, shared culture and shared Sanatan roots because Pashupatinath, Muktinath and also to Kailash Mansarovar, it all happens for all pilgrims across Bharat. They do go towards Nepal and to Kathmandu. So these relations are something which the Bharatiya authorities are very clear, they are aware, and that's why they would also want any kind of unnecessary, unwanted hostility towards Indian citizens in Nepal to be avoided.
Anand, there was much strategic ambiguity that had crept into the bilateral relationship between India and Nepal, especially after KP Sharma Oli arrived. So there's a renewed, fresh hope that whoever takes over will perhaps give a reset to these bilateral ties. Because remember, Oli was also viewed as a pro-China person. So how much now rests upon the next government?
But Nepal at this point stands at a crossroads. Either they hurtle towards anarchy or towards a very progressive, growth-oriented and overall stable leadership which flourishes under perhaps the democratic values that Nepal would want to eschew. Whether or not and how the course, what course they choose, what identity, what kind of persona Nepal as a nation chooses with the Gen Z leading it from the front, it's up to them. But Bharat would hope that it would always be mindful and perhaps respectful of the shared cultural heritage, the shared history, shared geography, and of course shared economic interaction and linkage, social linkage that both Bharat and Nepal have more than any of the other nations in the neighborhood. And I think that is something which the authorities are very, very clear. And they would like somebody who's steady, stable and acceptable between the old and new, however it is, but progressive in nature.
Absolutely. A government which is perhaps equally respectful about the strategic and territorial autonomy of India as well. Many thanks to you, Anand, for joining.
Network 18 decimates Times Internet with over 6 times more unique users on social media. Network 18, the undisputed leader of news networks. Way ahead of the times.